Yo bro, so you clicked on this video because you haven't landed your first copywriting client and you really want to. You really want to land your first client and to achieve financial freedom, right? That's what we all want. And so the problem is you haven't learned how to set that goal properly. You just have a goal like landing of your first copywriting client, but you don't know exact steps how to do it. This is the problem. You have to learn how to properly set goals. And in this video, I will show you exactly how you do that, how to set your goals properly. And before I begin, a lot of beginner copywriters think that I need another course, I need another outreach script, I need new tactic to get my first copywriting client. And the answer is no. You have enough knowledge to land your first copywriting client. You just need to learn how to goal set, and this is exactly what I'm going to show you. So yeah, let's begin. What should I do to get copywriting clients? So why I'm creating this video, people inside my community keep asking me, how do I get copywriting clients? What should I do every day? I know that feeling. I was in your shoes too, and I want to help you because once I figured out how to do it, I felt unstoppable, and I really want to give that feeling to you. And once you land your first copywriting client, it will feel amazing, bro. So yeah, answer: goal setting plus habit tracker. That's what worked for me. That's what's working for me. And so in today's video, we are going to talk about how to set your goals properly. Not just, I want to land my first copywriting client. You just set this goal, but you don't know exact steps, and there's much more to that. So first one is to write it down. You just probably have an idea of how I should get my first copywriting client, but this is just an idea, and ideas become goals once you write it down. But why do I need to write it down? Like, what's the point? I have that goal in my head, I can't forget it. Why should I write it down? Because your brain treats written goals as commands. So the action step for you right now: write down your goal. Don't be shy, dream big. And yeah, this is really simple. And most people just think about starting a new business or doing this and that, but those are just an idea, you know. You just have to write it down, and because you write it down, your brain perceives it as commands, and so you'll be much more likely to succeed at that thing. And the biggest mistake you can make when writing your goal down is not starting with I am. So start with I am. This is the incorrect example. Write a sales page. You think you can do it later, which means you will never do that. Start with I am going to write a sales page. Activates present reality in your brain, and yeah, you just start with I am. The next one is adding numbers. So uncertainty is what keeps people mediocre. And for example, when you know exactly when the timer runs out, you try your best to beat your one kilometer run. But when you don't know, then you are uncertain. And when you're uncertain, then you don't work at your full speed. You don't try as hard because you don't know when the timer is going to run out, so you don't try as hard. By adding numbers, your brain perceives them as exact targets. So the action step is being specific. I am going to write 2 YouTube scripts, 3 Facebook ads in 3 hours. That's being specific. And when you have numbers, your brain will perceive them as exact targets, and you'll be having an easier time to achieve that goal, right? Set hard deadlines. This creates an urgency for your brain. When you have enough time, then you don't try as hard to complete that work, or you don't do that work at all. So set hard deadlines. For example, I am going to land my first copywriting client before 2026, or I am going to write 2 YouTube scripts, 3 Facebook ads in 1 hour. So the deadline is tighter. Take one action daily. Don't try to manage everything. And if you're decent at copywriting, which I assume because you're trying to land your first copywriting client, don't try to set goals around everything, around reading, around writing, etc. set one goal. For example, sending outreach. That's the number one thing you should do if you want to get your first copywriting client. Set one goal and work towards that goal. I'm going to send 100 outreach messages in 3 hours for the next week. You're just doing the one action every single day and nothing else. Like, this is the best way I've found to reach my goals. If I have a goal, I am going to land my first copywriting client. The action step is going to be sending 100 outreach messages in 3 hours. And this is the only one action I'm doing daily. And when you think about 100 outreach messages, it looks a lot. Like, it looks a lot of work, and you probably don't have enough energy to do that if you haven't outreached yet. So don't start doing 100 outreaches when you first start. Start small. You will have a lot of motivation when you first start. Think long term. When going for the first time in the gym, I bet you didn't start with the 140 kilograms on the bar for your bench press. The same goes here. Start with 5, then move to 10, and so on. You shouldn't try to send 100 outreach messages every single day for the next week. Start with 5, with 10, as I said. Build momentum every day. The more you do it, the more unstoppable you're going to be. So what I meant, the more you do it, the more days in a row you do it, this one action, the more unstoppable you're going to be, and the faster you're going to reach your goal, which is to land your first copywriting client. Start with the hardest habit. Eat the frog. When you wake up in the morning, you'll have the most energy, so use that energy on your hardest task. And as I said, you should set only one task every single day. So that's going to be sending the outreach. So the action step, do the action to reach your goal first thing in the morning. So if your action step is to send 5 outreaches per day, then when you wake up, the first thing you should do is send 5 outreaches. Do the hard thing in the morning. And maybe that's not the hardest thing, but the thing that pushes towards your goal the furthest. So if your goal is to land your first copywriting client, writing a sales page probably doesn't move you faster towards achieving that goal, but sending outreaches moves you faster, right? Maybe that habit is not the hardest, but the one that helps you achieve that goal the fastest. So in our case, sending the outreach. So to summarize this video, entrepreneurs crushing it aren't smarter than you. So all you have to do is to get an idea of getting your first copywriting client, writing it down, start with I am when writing that goal down, add numbers towards the action step, set hard deadlines. So if you think you can do it in 1 month, try to do it in 1 week. Take one action daily. So if you want to achieve that goal, for example, getting your first copywriting client, do the one action that matters, which is sending the outreach. Start small. If you think that you can do like 1,000 outreach per day, start with 10, and start with the hardest habit, or the habit that pushes you towards that goal the fastest. So as I said, sales page, it will help you get clients because you will get better at copywriting, but it is not the fastest thing that will get you copywriting clients, right? That's the outreach that is going to help you get that copywriting client the fastest. So yeah, action step from this video: create your new goal and how you're going to work towards that goal every single day. And yeah, the other people that are crushing aren't doing anything else differently. Like they learned copywriting and they send outreach. That's the way they land copywriting clients. It's that easy, and you have to learn how to set goals properly And you just learned in this video how to do that. So go ahead, take action steps, and go crush it like other entrepreneurs. And I'll see you in the next one.